Welcome back, Rankers. Not going to have a lot of time to talk about the election today because I've got a lot more to get through. But just keep an eye on YouTube, because when the video tone starts changing on YouTube, that's interesting because people have to go to a lot of effort to upload videos on YouTube about politicians. So that's just one to keep an eye on. We'll look at it again next week. And the election hasn't been announced yet, so all the rumours were wrong last week. I just want to direct your attention to an excellent article in smartcompany.com.au by Patrick Stafford on the dark art of black hat SEO. Just go and Google the dark art of black hat SEO Smart Company. I'm sure you'll find this article. But a lot of really good quotes by me and every other Melbourne SEO in the business. However, it's a really good article because it shows you some techniques that people are using out there to get above you. And if your competitors are doing this to you, why not go and find out and dob on them to Google? I would recommend it. And for instance, if you go and have a look at this page that they're talking about in the article, Grab Denim, you can go to Google and basically this is the site in the Google index. And the way that I get to that is simply by hitting on the cached link in the Google search results. Go to the cached page, then look at the text-only version. Oh my goodness, completely different from the version that the user sees. This is what the bot would see. So basically lots of text for the bot, and for the human, just pictures. Google frowns on that sort of thing because you're showing one thing to the user and another thing to the search engine bots. And I can certainly understand why people do it. Mind you, the site has changed a little bit. Like if we see in the article, Patrick says there's text here, white text on a black background. They've changed that. If that was the case when Patrick wrote the article, certainly that isn't the case now. But go and use that technique, and we see it all the time. We see people doing black hat SEO all the time, and we don't know, we're not 100% sure whether it's from ignorance or whether some web developers just all of a sudden think this would be a good idea to hide all this text. Okay, site review today. The one that we're going to have a look at first, we're going to try to get two in today, is hall.com.au. Some of you may be aware that I recently the proud new owner of a Hall portfolio case for my iPad. And the first thing Scott Kilmartin, who owns Hall, the first thing that stands out about this site is that you're trying to jam as much into the page title as you possibly can. And whenever you see a new phrase that you think you must rank for, you're sticking it at the front of the page title. I know you're doing that because I can see it, and that's what I would do as well. You think, new phrase I need to rank for, quick, first phrase in the page title to get it ranked. Your page title is starting to get a little bit heavy, okay? A few too many words in here. You may want to start thinking about pruning some of these out, like billboard. I can understand why you've probably got number plate in there, but I don't think you need to necessarily rank for the word billboard. And some of these other phrases, have a think. This has got to be about what people are typing in. It's okay to separate them with commas. I'd probably separate them with the pipe character. But wherever you separate, that is a distinct phrase, basically. So you're saying to Google here that you want to rank for billboard, which I don't think you do. I would try to get, if you're trying to rank for iPad case, as this would seem, I would try to get some of these links that you've got down here with iPad cases actually in the link, higher up on the page, maybe up here in the news section. Also, I notice there's no use of H1s or H2s. I would typically put a H1 somewhere at the top of the page. The other place you could also put iPad cases is here in your top menu if you think it's that important to your users and also to Google. And they're the main things I'd change straight up. And also, I haven't done an index search yet, but the head tag doesn't look too bad. Probably a little bit too much JavaScript in there for my liking. I'd probably stick that in an external file, but apart from that, it doesn't look too bad on the cover of it. The next site we're going to have a look at today is Australia Post. Australia Post, for our American friends, is our equivalent of the US Postal Service. And of course, this is going to be a massive site, right? So one of the things that you have to do, first of all, with a massive site is go into Google and say, site, AUSPOST.com.au. Now, the first thing that immediately sticks out about this site is that I've just done a site search. It's telling me there's nearly 5,000 pages in the index, but the root isn't in the index, from what I can see anyway. You would expect the root domain, auspost.com.au, to be the first entry when you do a site search like that. It's not in there, which means that for some reason, Google is unable to index this page. The other thing that stands out for me about this, so that means you've probably got some sort of spidering problem, maybe something's getting blocked in robots.txt. There can be a number of reasons why the bot isn't indexing this front page. And Webmaster Tools may tell you some of the reasons why it's not doing it. The other thing that stands out for me here is the page title, Australia Post Home. You can put, affordable car insurance there. Some of these other phrases that you're trying to rank for lower down on the page, stick them up here in your page title. The site uses H2s and H3s. Doesn't seem to be a H1 on the page. I would say if you are going to use H2s and H3s, you may as well start with a H1 high on the page. There isn't one here. We've got H2s, 3s. Also, a few more links deeper into the site with your keywords never helps. You can put some of those down here in the footer. And just be careful too, if this area of content here changes quite a bit, which I'm guessing it does by the nature of it, you're going to lose authority for those phrases with Google on a regular basis if it keeps changing. So you might want to have some permanent links here in a footer for the most important things, not only for your users, but also for Google to find. And that is it for today's show. Hopefully that's helpful for some of you. Look, it's a 5,000 page site, Australia Post. There's probably a lot of other things we could look at there, but they're the main highlights that certainly stand out. And if you've got any site, if you'd like a site reviewed, and I know there have been a few people this morning who've said, and I'm sorry, Nick Savage, and I'm also sorry, Get Trippy, but we didn't get a chance to get to your sites. So hopefully next week. See you then.